Welcome back to the Writer's Room. What an awesome month. I've heard so many great things about the writing that you've been doing, I've seen many of you at different events that we've been having. And it is almost time for many of us to meet in person in Chicago for the Fall Women's Starting Movements Retreat. And many of you are joining us virtually, and we're so excited. If you don't have your ticket yet, grab it here. This is almost the last day to get to sign up, and we cannot wait to be together for that deep immersion. And in honor of knowing that we're starting to talk about movements and books that start movements, I want to talk about two principles that are just fundamental. They're foundational in my work, in the work that I have the privilege of coaching others in terms of making the biggest impact possible with our work. And the first is the differentiator between being a consumer and a creator. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of payoffs to being in the consuming mode. We're all both, right? We're all both. And the question is, are you showing up as strongly in the one that matters most to you right now? And there's no judgment, there's no right way, right? But when I say consumer, I don't mean like we're out buying stuff like a marketing consumer. I'm talking about of literature, of thought leadership. Is the majority of your time being spent right now taking in podcasts, articles, books, poetry collections, documentaries, whatever? Fabulous. We want to fill the well all the time. And what I always check myself on is, am I giving equal or more time, depending on what my goals are, to creating, right? Because taking in and consuming is so pleasurable. It's like someone's already done all the work. It's like having someone cook the meal for you. I just get to go eat it. I don't have to shop. I don't have to plan. I don't have to baste, saute, julienne, roast. I don't have to clean the dishes, right? Like someone has prepared the meal. And so when we watch or read or take in something that someone else has created, it is awesome. And I'm grateful every second for all the people that create all the wonderful things that feed me, nourish me, inspire me, and change my life. And if you're here watching this, you're someone who's also been tapped by the big magic to be a creator, right? To be a creator. And so the question is, are you creating at your optimal level? Are you truly bringing forth the music that is inside you at the level that you feel your soul or your heart or life asking you to? This is not about judgment of ourselves. This is not about making ourselves right or wrong. But what I do want to ask you is, we are entering the final quarter of this year. You have a little over 3 months to make this the best year of your life so far, the most prolific of so far, the most impactful, the most fulfilling, the most self-empowering. And so what are you going to do with that time? That's why we're holding the retreat. That's why we are gifting it to you as a gift, because we want to make sure that those of us, and you are one of them because you're here watching this, that have been invited to not only receive all the gift of the art that's being created and the thought leadership that's being shared, but to contribute to it. So I want to just do a little inventory, and we're going to just keep the whole writer's room on this today, I think, because I was going to cover two things. I was like, no, we're covering this. So in the moment we get to sit with, just do a quick, again, no judgment, pretend you're just taking notes for a friend, and just make a pie graph. You draw a circle on the page, and how much of your time, if you take your available time, are you consuming, receiving, and how much are you producing, creating, contributing? And this isn't to, again, have any shame or feel bad about it. It's just, it really helps me to do this frequently. Every so often I check in because a lot of times I just think, okay, for instance, I'm working on this new book with a very robust, rigorous timeline that I've put for myself. And it's like, if I consume 75% of the time and create 25% of the time, that is not going to get me my book done at the end of this year. You could have your next manuscript done, your draft, depending on what genre you're writing in, you could have a finished book if you're even just starting now by the end of this year. And if you're writing a longer novel or something like that, you can get a really good half of it done. Okay. So who's in? Who's in to just be honest with yourself and with total love and non-judgment, just honest with yourself? Are you creating and contributing to the extent that you feel your soul wants you to? And how is that in relation? So we always get to, like, my treat every day after I write is I get to watch or read something or both. Right? Like, that's my pleasure bundling that I do. I'm reading 2 books right now. I'm loving them both. That's like my treat, right? And I get to do that when I have contributed and created per my schedule that I've made for myself. All right. So this may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't, be like, Sarah, screw you. This is, yeah, I don't want, just check in. Those of you that know, there are some of you on here right now that know if this is a message that you need to hear today. You know, if you're a little out of balance. And the great part is all you need to do is, anyway, we change something, we acknowledge it and we accept it with love, right? You just say, cool, I'm just wanting to read and watch stuff all the time instead of sit down to the blank page. I get it. It's hard as you know what, right? I want someone to cook for me, right? But you're a master chef. You have a way of bringing those ingredients together that no one else can. So I want to support you in the extent that it feels authentic for you to create to the full extent that you're called. Come to the retreat so that we can make a huge motivation leap forward, give lots of inspiration, fill up, and we will be doing some creating there. And then you set that goal between now and the end of the year that's going to make you feel so freaking proud of yourself and know that you came here contributing what you came here to create. So this is kind of an intense writer's room today. I didn't know this is what was going to come out, but I am knowing that if this applies to you, you know it, you can feel it, you're with me, and I'm going to be running with you every step of the way. We're doing this work together. I love you, and I'll see you next week.